The Master Scoreboard, just one of the many items that have to be put up in advance for what we like to be called Hoopfest. It is the world's largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the world, the free world, in the universe. Matt Santangelo, the executive director, joining us. You and I have had this conversation many times. Welcome another year.
Oh gosh, yep.
And successful already before they start tomorrow with the competition.
Well, it's certainly a lot of work. Everything's kind of being set up. The whole idea of connecting this whole thing and building this whole thing is all happening right now.
There's so many pieces of this puzzle that we absolutely have no idea about. Not only I'm putting up the court starting Thursday night, right?
Yeah.
In some of the areas?
So Thursday in some of the areas, but the streets actually shut down Friday at 7 p.m. And then it is go time.
Yeah, it's crazy. How many courts this year?
422.
Okay, is that fewer courts, or?
That's the exact same footprint as we had last year. Yeah, exact same number, but we're up in teams, so we're feeling really good about where we're at from a a growth perspective and getting all those players in town.
Continue, headache or challenge when it comes to the construction?
Well, we've learned really well to deal with all that adversity, so we look at it as an opportunity. I think is the marketing term. I think that's the marketing term.
It's an opportunity for success.
It does create some challenges, and really wayfinding becomes so important because it's not so much our planning, but it's trying to educate everyone who's down here on how to get around and where to connect with everything. All
right, Hoopfest Center Court. All right, come on. That was a huge move last year, and it worked out really well.
Yeah.
Same place?
Oh, yeah, same place. Bennett Block, just right across kitty corner from where we're standing now.
We're by the big red wagon, by the way, so it's just, shout out over, just over there.
Just over
You'll hear it before you see it.
And it's great because this time before the event, you get to see a lot of the energy as things are being built.
Right.
And that's part of the energy in downtown, and the court kind of creates this great heartbeat of the event. And so we got a lot of great feedback, and I don't see it moving as long as the property owners let us do that a week early. So
I think it's one of those things that it's a given, and it happens.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Let's talk. You said the word connectivity, and sort of what we're talking about. CenturyLink. They're one of the partners.
Oh yeah.
One of the dozens and dozens of partners that make this thing fly.
Yeah.
But it comes down to fiber, it comes down to Wi-Fi and your internet and cell service.
Well, and you talk about having that many people, 200,000 people in a downtown area, everyone trying to Facebook, tweet, Instagram at the same time.
Yeah.
That depresses the network.
Yeah.
And so when you have partners like CenturyLink that know where, if you will, all the bones lay, they know where all the fibers, it's their fiber, and they're able to light up certain areas that we just can't have go down. Master Scoreboard being one of them. Certainly our site operations and security, that is connected through them. Our store experience and all the retail. I mean, they're the ones pulling that fiber out and plugging it in that makes a lot of this thing go.
Okay, so we should point out that over, how many years is this now?
This will be 29.
29 years. They've had to, much like Star Wars, develop the technology and your software to make all of the teams, the team names, the scores, where they're going to be. All that has been designed over the years.
No, I would love to be able to buy it off the shelf. I think it'd be a lot easier than the bubble gum and duct tape we got going now. Right. But it works, and you do have to rely so much on those partners in order to get it done, because we can only have, we use so much, Hoopfest does, that you need experts in the field to be able to actually come out and help you execute it. So when you have a group like CenturyLink that's able to come in and plug you in, they know where it all is, they know how to do it, and they've been around for so many years, so they know kind of the pitfalls too, and so it just makes it so much easier. It's one less thing to worry about.
You've never had to troubleshoot ever
right.
during one of these events.
Right,
ever.
And I don't plan on troubleshooting this weekend either.
But to make that phone call and go, okay, we've got this issue, and boom, it gets taken care of.
It is, and to have that same enthusiasm behind the scenes that Carrie has, and certainly Don Hartzog, who does a lot of the physical, the manual labor and plugging it all in, they know how it all works, and you can just say, hey, I need help here, and the help is there. And that really is what makes Hoopfest go. It's really a community event.
You're the busiest man in the planet right now, but not more so, but in the same, you want to give a shout out to your staff. I got to tell you, they're one in a million.
Oh gosh, it's wonderful when you get to work with a team that is so passionate about what they do. You don't have to convince people to work. You're not trying to coerce them, you're not trying to manage. You literally just say, this is the task at hand, and the job's gonna get done. Now, everyone is running around with their hair on fire. I mean, certainly Rob Davis, our site manager, with everything physically that touches the site.
And he runs a little tight anyway.
No, you gotta edit that out. But no, he's doing a ton of work. Giff Marlowe in our office, who does all the registration and bracketing. Right. So that bracketing, 14,000 games are gonna be played. Everyone has to know where they're going and what time.
It's a headache just to think about.
Oh gosh, Chad Smith on what he does for volunteers, all the court monitors, Marshall, all that great stewardship, education that allows. I mean, we're all going at 100 miles an hour because this is like Thanksgiving dinner. It's got to hit the table hot. Like we got one shot at it, one weekend a year.
And Matt is the face of Hoopfest, but he and I both know that we depend on those people so much when it comes to it. So, and I know how much you appreciate them. I just wanted to give you that opportunity.
No, and it took me my first year at Hoopfest to realize not one person does this.
No.
This is everyone has to jump in. Everyone's a part of it, and we are the hardest working team in basketball.
Yeah.
I've been on basketball teams all my life, and there's none that work as hard as Hoopfest.
And the fun part is the volunteers are right in there with everybody else.
Without question.
It's pretty cool. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Your hair looks great. Not on
thank
fire
you.
so much, but it's more gray than it was a couple of years ago.
Hoopfest will do that to you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for taking the
Mark.
time, and congratulations on another event as it cooks and gets going.
Thank you.
All right, it won't boil over. The weather's going to be great. All right, we're going to talk more about CenturyLink and what it takes to make everything operate. It's never hard to have a nice conversation when you're in Riverfront Park. You got the river behind you, got the kids playing, it's fun, and of course Hoopfest weekend, that's what we're talking about. Tyler Master joining us now. He's the Regional Operations Director for Spokane with CenturyLink. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Matt Santangelo, the Executive Director of Hoopfest. We spoke just moments ago talking about that team, what it takes to make this work. You have a big team here, and I'm sure that every office is affected by Hoopfest.
It is. We have 64 dedicated technicians in the Spokane market with their top priority of providing the best customer experience as possible. So.
Yeah, and you're here, sales is everyone's, it's all hands on board. What do you think about pulling all these people together? I mean, that's got to feel pretty good at the end of the day on Monday and Tuesday when you go, hey, we had very few problems, we hit it, we nailed it.
Yep. You know, it's all about the experience, and you know, our technicians are connected to this community. They really enjoy giving back, and this is one of the ways we do it, and so it's our pleasure. Hoopfest is, you know, a part of Spokane. So.
Yeah, there's no pressure here though.
No,
you know, none
no
at
pressure.
all. You just got to keep everything up and running.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, when you think about this octopus of activity and all these different arms coming into the central head, which is going to be you with your fiber link, and you help the KXOY broadcast. What you've got the Nike tent, the scoreboard, making sure everyone knows what's going on.
Yep, all the online scoring updates.
Do you feel that pressure?
No, it's just what we do every day.
Okay. So you certainly don't have a Hoopfest every day, but you are stretched out all over the region, making sure everything's up and running.
That's correct. You know, we got many large customers in the Spokane market, so it's just what we do.
Is there a challenge to Hoopfest that maybe you'd like people to understand, or something you could share with us? That I mean, it's
a little bit. It's just more about logistics, getting everything pulled in together and tested out prior to. So.
Well, you've got to have some very organized people, because I need them in my house. And that's just to keep the house organized. That has nothing to do with the fiber internet.
Yep.
I can't imagine what it takes. And the to-do list a month ago, I'm assuming, that this starts when you start knocking this thing down.
Yeah, you know, we got some great engineers in the Spokane market. They get it all lined out, and then my technicians execute putting it together. So.
Okay. And of course, they don't have to farmify anything ever. Everything runs perfectly all the time.
Well, not always.
Here's what I hear tell. Anytime there's a problem, they're on it.
Yes, that's correct.
And that's the cool part about it, that you have 64 dedicated people that are ready to answer a question and make sure it happens.
Yep.
All right, Ty, thank you very much for joining us. Do appreciate it. Enjoy Hoopfest as much as you can while you're trying to make sure everything works right. It's perfect.
All right.
It's a huge undertaking. All right, that's just one of the different things that happens here. We're going to talk more about some of those things it takes to make this work when it comes to fiber and when it comes to connecting all that in just about 10 seconds. It is days like this that have kids out and about, not only having a good time enjoying the parks, but also getting ready for Hoopfest. They're practicing, they're getting ready. The weather this year, Dick Hanlon, Boys and Girls Club of Spokane County, everybody, Executive Director, sort of the big dog. This is where we see those kids really getting out and enjoying the Spokane weather and having fun. Yeah. Boys and Girls Club, let's set it up. Explain to people exactly what it is.
Yeah, well, we have two full-on facilities, one on Providence Avenue, the other on North Market Street. And we've got anywhere from 200 to 300 kids a day in each of the clubs, and they're having fun. It's a structured day camp setting. we're helping retain some of what they learned in school while also building memories and just you know, putting their head on the pillow saying, wow, summer's cool.
Yeah.
And if Boys and Girls Club can help make that happen, then great.
And it's a safe place through the day,
safe.
and this is where parents don't, I mean, it's not that expensive, you know?
It's very affordable, especially
Yeah.
for those who need it the most. You
Okay,
know, it's really
that's perfect.
affordable, and it's quality, and like you said, it's safe. And then you get the opportunities to come along in the summer, field trips, and for crying out loud, let's play Hoopfest.
Okay, so Hoopfest is here, the world's largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We've said that before, we'll say it again. We know what to do.
Yeah.
And how many teams does the Boys and Girls Club have?
This year we have 5, thanks to Hoopfest and CenturyLink. And
That's huge.
Yeah, for years, CenturyLink and Hoopfest have always made the games possible for kids at the club. We have teams coming from both clubs. We've gotten balls from Hoopfest afterwards when they're done. They've built us a court, a Hoopfest court at our Northtown club. We benefited when they had the inaugural alumni game, you know, on the full court. And Matt he was a club member growing up. It's all good. It's all good.
All right, so can you share with our audience the importance of activity, sports perhaps, whatever it is when it comes to these kids and what it means to them, and just participating in something like Hoopfest?
Yeah, you got to be busy. You got to also appreciate your community, and a kid that plays hard, learns better, and has a greater chance of having a productive adulthood when each day is rewarding in its own terms. Teachers like kids better when they've played and had a good, nutritious 3 square meals a day. And that's what they get at a Boys and Girls Club.
And they can focus.
And that
helps them focus.
Absolutely. They got goofy, crazy, safe, upstanding people that get to work with them, that are reliable, that are going to be there tomorrow. Yeah, we have rules that are a little different than school. You know, we're serving meals every day, and then getting to do things like Hoopfest.
Okay, and getting to do Hoopfest because of CenturyLink.
That's
and
right.
Sponsoring those teams. That's
That's
very
right.
cool.
That's
so
right.
that connectivity, not only is it through fiber, but it's also through kids and participation.
Yeah, and people.
Yeah,
And
very
people
cool.
at CenturyLink.
All right, are we going to have some winners, or are we going to have the Loser Kings? Actually is pretty cool. Someone said, you know, do you have to have that? And I go, they fight for the Loser King t-shirts. That's a huge deal.
Well,
that's perfect.
The Boys and Girls Club kids, they're setting out to win it all.
Okay.
While the Loser Kings is attractive, in their mind right now, they're conniving. How are they going to win it all?
How are they going to win? So here's the deal. If you want to follow along with the Boys and Girls Club, first of all, do we have the names of the teams on your website?
We will, yes.
We will? Okay,
Yep.
So what you can do is you can get the Hoopfest app if you don't have it. If you're coming down here to watch a team, Dick's going to come down, he'll be seeing his kids play. Here's the deal. The app will tell you where they're playing, what time, and how to get there, because you have 433 courts to try and navigate around. Just a few.
Good luck.
Dick Allen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Boys and Girls Club, Spokane County. They would love your support. They have CenturyLinks. They have Hoopfest. They want you. This is when I get to make a horrible transition, but I still think it's funny. The geese biting, and lots of bites and computer bites, and Dong Hartzog joining us now, lead engineer for CenturyLink when it comes to Spokane. The geese down here bite. It's a horrible analogy, but I thought I'd throw it out there. It came into my head and I wanted to share it. Millions of bytes per second are going through your fiber as Hoopfest comes on. Now, how many Hoopfests have you done?
This will be our 6th Hoopfest, I believe.
Okay, so is it getting easier? I mean, it's still a huge undertaking.
Yes, it is. Yeah, definitely. The Hoopfest team is great to work with, and over the years we built a relationship with each of the members. Certainly, we have constants that continue every year,
Right.
but the other item with Hoopfest is flexibility, constant changing every year depending on the nuances of the.
And as the
Spokane
engineer, you have to have a plan that allows for that flexibility, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And the people to do that. What's it like for you? Tell me what Hoopfest is to you.
Well, first of all, it's a great opportunity for me. I live and work in Spokane, so this is a great event. I'm very proud of it. I'm pleased that CenturyLink can help support the event. So it's a passion of mine to help with this. It's also it's a challenge, constant challenge in terms of meeting their needs, meeting their vendors' needs, making sure that everything's up in a timely manner, everything seems functioning for the entire event.
Have you had to grow your network to sort of keep up with their changes here? Do you have to put more fiber in every year to make it easier, to make things smoother?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, several years ago, the majority of the event was located in the park.
Right.
Now with the construction in the park and the renovations, it's moved to the Bennett block, so it's somewhat spread things out. With the growth in the downtown core, we've expanded to facilities on the north side of the river up by the arena.
Right.
So we're really stretching the network.
So let me ask you something just out of left field. Does that help year round then for downtown when CenturyLink has more fiber? Is that better for everybody? Is this a catalyst to make things better for everybody year round?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're having to build the Bennett block up?
Yeah, absolutely. When we put in facilities, to the extent we can, we try to permanentize whatever we're doing so it's there for posterity and for other events that might be happening, whether that's pig out or something else. Also, you know, there's a big chunk of it that is temporary that we put up and take down every single year just because of the nature that Hoopfest comes. It's 2 days and we're
right. And learning how to do that better, more efficiently, and pre-planning to take it down so that, I mean, it's amazing that by Monday afternoon you wouldn't know that we've had, you know, 250,000 people down here watching basketball.
Yeah, we spend 6 months planning for 3 or 4 days worth of work.
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to thank you very much.
Thank you
for your support and your crew. And as an engineer, my father's an engineer. I know there's a lot of forward looking that goes on with this, so thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
All right, here's the deal. If you haven't figured it out, this has been about, again, connecting an audience, connecting a community, and connecting a huge event. By doing that, CenturyLink plays a major part in that. So we want to thank them. We want to thank Matt for joining us. And again, when you see him running around, his hair literally probably will be on fire. KXOY will have all the coverage of Hoopfest. We're your official Hoopfest station. And don't forget to get the Hoopfest app. Trust me, it will make your weekend of participation and watching your kiddos so much easier. All right, have a great day. Good luck, play fair, and have fun.